Keep boys by my side. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side.
Evil Dead Rise is the latest movie in the Evil Dead Army of Darkness franchise that is not directed by Sam Raimi this time, and it sort of shows. So I know I'm a bit late talking about Evil Dead Rise. It came out, I believe, last year, possibly the year before, but I've been a little bit behind on my movies, so I decided it's time to catch up, and I do love me a possession film. So I decided to check this one out. I never really was a huge fan of the original Evil Dead 1, 2, and the Army of Darkness. While I did see them as a kid, I didn't remember a whole lot, so I did refresh myself. And I remember now like why I wasn't such a huge fan, but at the same time, I gained a new appreciation for Sam Raimi's film style because it is almost nowhere to be seen in Evil Dead Rise. Evil Dead 1 and 2 and the Army of Darkness and Ash vs. the Evil Dead had its charm. It had its own style of filmmaking that Sam Raimi really perfected for this type of storytelling. Evil Dead Rise, while if it's a standalone film, about a demon possession, I like it. I went into it and it made me honestly a little bit uncomfortable at times with its manipulation of, young children. And I think that always gets to you, especially if you have kids. It sort of gets under your skin a little bit, and it did its job. It did its job in kind of creeping me out, making me feel uncomfortable. Other than that, though, it sort of is a beat for beat derivative of other possession films. Not a bad thing. I mean, it was a quality film. It shot well, but I do feel like there were a few loose ends / wasted potential, especially in you're using the people of a door, right? There are so many creative things that you can do with that shot. You could change reality, and that's one of the things that Sam Raimi's Evil Deads did is the demons, the Deadites, played with reality, played with your perception of what you were doing in the real world. They made you see things, they made you think things, and they really reveled in the psychological torment of what they were doing to these people. And in this one, the demons are so serious. Yeah, they enjoy the violence, but that's all they do. That's really, the violence is ramped up to 10 in this film. I mean, there's tons of blood, lots of gore, lots of kills, and while some of them are creative, some of them are just not. They happen semi off screen. Lots of lost potential in this movie. Especially there's a scene where the mother gets a little bit creative and she decides that she needs to get into the apartment and she's locked out. So she finds that there's a cat in the ductwork or whatever. And yes, we know that you can't actually fit a person up there. But anyway, she finds her way into the ductwork, and instead of using this opportunity to kind of show how the demon can distort the human figure and make you fit into this crawl space and having maybe a tracking shot of her going through the ducting, there's not. You just see her go in. Actually, you don't even see her go in. You just see her come back out. And it's sort of a wasted shot. I mean, you had so many chances to do creative things with this movie, and they just don't. And by the time it's over, you're kind of forgetting that you're watching an Evil Dead movie. Other than the chainsaw bit at the end with the wood chipper, which Evil Dead 2013, I think they came out, that they did the same thing, not with the wood chipper, but with the chainsaw. Without those obvious connections between the two movies, you really would think you're just watching a regular possession movie. I really don't feel like it's connected. And another reason for that is we've seen this style of origin story out of this franchise already. With the original, with number 2, number 2 was sort of like a retelling of the first one in a different way. And then you had Army of Darkness, which I think is probably the best one, with Ash going to the medieval times to fight the Deadites. That one's the most creative one of all. And then you have Ash versus the Evil Dead, which elaborates even further on the lore and on the world building, which I think is amazing. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of this franchise, but from a storytelling aspect, that's the best thing that they could have done, because in Evil Dead 2013, or whenever it was made, you get another soft reboot retelling of the original, of people locked in a cabin, well, not locked in a cabin, but, a small space where they have to make it alive. And then in this one, it's the same thing. You get a group of people, a family, locked in an apartment building, trying to survive until dawn. Now, while I'm a fan of movies that put people in an isolated situation and make them have to survive, this is for the 4th movie in this franchise where they do that. So only one movie and one TV series elaborates on the world building. And this one, it doesn't do that at all. They make it out, but okay, so is this another soft reboot? Is this happening simultaneous to what's happening in the cabin in the first soft reboot? Because we know there's 3 books. So where is this happening in the timeline? It's convoluted, and it's not really telling you when and where it's happening, because we have seen this already. Let's see the world building. Let's see the rest of what's happening outside of this apartment building when these people are reading these passages. This movie is sort of forgettable in that way that it doesn't make you want to remember it. It doesn't make you want to watch it again. It doesn't make you want to go and seek out the other movies, because if you've already seen them, you've already seen them. And that I hope that they do better in another one, or they try again, maybe with the series, because this franchise is too good to just die out, because the content is there. It's interesting. It's something different. And I hope that maybe if they do another one, they dive deeper into the Sumerian roots and maybe go back to ancient times and do something a little more creative. While I liked it as a demon possession movie, as an Evil Dead movie, it wasn't great. Thank you guys for coming back to another movie review. If you like this and you want more from it, hit the like button. And also, I'm going to have my other channels down in the description below, so check those out. And if you want to support me and any of these channels, I'm going to have my promoted Amazon store links in the description as well. So until next time, guys, thank you for watching. And I'll see you out there.
Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my